What up, everyone? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hello! What up, everyone? Sorry, my mic was a little messed up there. Are we good, though? Let's see here. Is that a little loud or no? Is that good? We are live on YouTube. Come join. The markets are going to drop soon, baby. What up, everyone? How we doing? Hope you guys are all having a wonderful night. How's everyone doing in here? Y'all doing good? We have plenty of stuff to talk about tonight. I'm excited. We're going to find some trades, of course, setups, entries, things like that. And we'll get a nice little thesis for you guys. Even a lesson. Raider, what up? Edgar, how are you, man? Good, Raider. Nice to see you. Well, you know, it is a wonderful day to see you too, Mr. Appliance. How you doing, my guy? I'm doing well. Lots of things going on in my life, and just super, super, super happy to have everyone I have in my life right now. So, yeah. Just got done working out. I'm a little sore. Today we did cardio, and we also did okay. I need to mute this before things get out of hand. You need goons? Yeah, chains here. But yeah, did cardio today, and then we did some other stuff. What up, you goons? How are you guys doing?
What kind of cardio you do?
You know, we just be running. You know, yeah. Nothing too crazy.
Nothing wild.
Wait, chains. I put on a new low latency. Can you type in chat real quick, like YouTube chat right now? Tell me when you do it, so I know how long the delay is.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're good. In the meantime, guys, let's start scanning for some trades. Why are we wasting time, eh? So we're gonna look at a few different things. We got lots of data lined up today. I'm gonna have you guys go through the entire ballpark of information with me. So we got the stream deck. If you guys are wondering what I'm tapping on, it's this right here.
All right,
I don't know
3,
if you
2,
can see
1.
it. Okay. Oh, yo, it's only a few. Yo, that's way better than last time. But yeah, anyway, if you guys are wondering what I'm using, stream decks are awesome. Not for trading. Like, don't put buy sell orders. That's stupid. But anyway. So is your number 4 image on your Twitter an image from today? Are we in the seasonal top right now? So we are getting there. So clips from my Twitter today, in case you guys don't know what he's talking about here. Let me show you guys real quick. So I just recently dropped this on Twitter, guys. So you guys can kind of see this here. 1 second. So this right here, I dropped like a synopsis of the markets. It's going to be great reviewing information for what we're going to discuss tonight, but I'm going to go a little more in depth tonight. As far as what he's referring to, I made this chart right here, and this chart is basically an outline of what I believe the markets will do. Now, a seasonal top is likely very near, and so that's our game plan that we're going to roll with. Whether we're wrong or not, I believe that the stocks we pick will be right and that they will make us money. So I believe our eventual target is 520 down to the downside. That's where the huge put wall is, where all the liquidity is going to be attracted to. So how long have you been trading? As far as that question goes, I've been training my whole life. I had mentors at the age of 14 out in the Bay Area, and they've mentored me all the way through high school. Now, if you want to break that down into, you know, learning versus trading and all that stuff, I would say realistically, as a person who knows what they're doing and is profitable, it's been about 2.5 years now. I'm almost 21 now. I didn't gain, I mean, as expected, I didn't gain really consciousness, or like, I wasn't able to put all these concepts together till about late 17, 18. So, of course, we're still, I mean, anyone who says they've mastered anything, like, look, markets are always changing, and so does our strategies as far as how we approach them. And so there's always learning to it. I have not been alive enough to experience. I mean, these last 3 years have been crazy good market experience. So like we've experienced basically the whole business, the whole cycle. We had a pandemic. We had Fed. I mean, what more could you ask for from we've had a rate cycle almost. And so this is of course going to be the first time in my life that I've experienced that. What happen again in the future? Maybe, but getting this exposure, you never truly stop learning. But that's that. How much are you up on your crypto scam? Wealth District, you got to tell me you didn't get scammed, bro. Did a bot DM you and you sent him money? Ay, ay, ay. I don't got time to scam, man. With that being said, guys, so this is my chart. If you guys want to go check out Twitter, that's on there. Now, how's the music, Chains? Are you on the live stream?
I guess he's not.
Okay, Chains, nice. All right, Mr. Kawani. So,
No, I haven't muted.
oh, you're good. Raider, when are you gonna tell the people you are pumping cryptos? Wealth District, my bro, you got scammed by some dude in India.
We don't even do crypto.
It's trolling.
Hey, you never know though. There's a story. Do you guys know that my own aunt sent me an image and she was like, "Hey Andy, I sent you that $300."
Damn, they got your aunt too.
Yep. I sent her money, but $300, bro. Like, why would I message you on Instagram and ask for you to deposit crypto? It's crazy. What is your day-to-day routine as a full-time trader? How about Jake? How about you stick around and we'll talk about that in a bit, okay? But you're actually going to see a lot of my routines here. Speaking of which, Chains, have you scanned the float today?
No.
Would you like to together?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen or no? Shit. I don't think I can with low latency mode on. Yeah, GG. Okay, just start scanning the flow. So, for all you guys who don't know what's going on right now, I'm going to start scanning the flow. For you guys that know me, you should know that option flow is a huge part of understanding the markets because the derivatives market is the most powerful market in the world. Not only because it gives us a direction in a stock, but also a time. And timing the markets is the hardest part. So things that have expiration dates, and if we understand how market makers move the markets to balance them off of these certain orders, whether too big, whether they have some sort of response with them, that's kind of that. But yo, Abstract, what's up, man? How did Appliance's message get retracted? Did he say something inappropriate? Wealth District, be honest. Did you actually get scammed, bro? Be honest. Did you actually get scammed? Yo, Bleach, what's up, bro? It's been forever. What should I do? Is it going back up? Bleach, bro, you should mortgage the house, bro. Time to become a better trader. Awesome, Jake. No, you kidding? Okay, I was about to say, if you got scammed, I'm banning you right now. All right, guys. So let's look at the flow here. So I'll walk you through what I'm thinking when I'm going through these orders. I'm trying to find orders that match a thesis. And currently in the markets, if you guys are Raider reporters. Chains, are you a Raider reporter?
No.
Kuwani, are you a Raider reporter?
I'm a Raider reporter.
Are you a Raider reporter?
$25 a month, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta spend this money on cigarettes and.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Newports and Zins. Yep, there you go. So as far as what I do, guys, The best part about trading is building a thesis. And I talk about this every single night, but I'm going to start talking about it until you guys actually get it. So in trading, when you want to become a better trader, you have to evolve from this idea that you're going to wake up and look at the charts and just type around your favorite stocks. You're not going to be able to do anything if you just do that. If you wake up, go to your computer and you go, Tesla looks bullish, I'm going to trade that, and you haven't thought about it, looked at it, planned anything out the day prior, you're not going to do well. The best thing you can do is absorb what the market is at, where it is at right now. Build a thesis off of that as to where you think it's going to be in the future. The market has a phenomenal amount of information that is future looking. A lot of you guys look at lagging information. You're looking at data releases. You're looking at news. You're looking at all this stuff that by the time it comes out, the move is already over. The opportunity is already over. What we're trying to do is front run markets. And how we do that is build a thesis with a variety of different ways. One of those ways is understanding the option flow. Because if we can find an order that creates a response from the market makers, we will have an idea of not only which direction we're going to play, but also by when. Okay, so that's kind of that. All right, let me catch up with this. When will you tell people about your failed relationship? All right.
So when are you though? Like,
What'd you say? Sorry, Kawani.
so when are you gonna actually do it though? Like, when you tell us?
Oh, about my failed relationship. I don't have a failed relationship. Big Songs, what's up, man? It actually stands for I am daddy. Hey, Abstract. Wealth District ICT. Wait. There's so much going on in the chat. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Wealth District. I don't read names first. I don't read the usernames first. I read the chat first. So I almost went off the rails. But anyway, okay, we got to focus up here, guys. So we're going to turn the music off just for now. But so what I'm doing when I'm going through flow is I'm looking for anything that matches a theme. Right now, if we are coming into a seasonal top, what we want to try to find is we want to try to find tech short trades. So anything high beta tech, semiconductors, things like that, which something like SMH would be something to maybe look at. But of course, there's earnings coming up and a few different things. So we have to be careful. Go check through that. Now, whenever I see something like this is interesting. XHB. So right here. Now, Home Builders is actually a trade that I outlined on the Radar Report. And this was actually a trade on DHI that I'm actually going to go short in very, very soon. So this is playing the final leg in the move. Oh gosh, my bad. This is playing the final leg in the move. And I think pretty soon DHI is going to get a short. So this is actually quite intelligent as far as how this trade is placed. So this is 8-9 XHB. I like this one. What do you think, Kuwani? You like this one?
Yeah, yeah. Wait, where'd you get that from?
This is XHB.
I approve. Yeah.
Okay, so with this one, now what's interesting, now that I see these two orders, this is together probably a hedge. So he got this at the exact same time, 8-9, 110. So this, although this is a bullish trade, I don't think it's going to be bullish quite yet, given how extended Home Builders are. Now, to maybe justify this, we have to go look and see if any of these have earnings, which I don't think they do. So maybe this is a sympathy trade to URI. So we'll see with that. But I believe there is going to be a downside opportunity in Home Builders. Okay, so we'll keep an eye out on that one. Bro's own Discord is dissing him. Abstract, please. Why did I make this guy mod? All he does is make fun of me. All right, we'll keep looking at orders here. Shopify, nope. Now, Kuwani, why would I not do shop? What do you think?
You know what? I actually don't know why.
I think it's too far for 100K.
I can't see your screen because it's like delayed.
Oh, damn. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, Kwani. This one might actually be good. Nah, it's too far. It's interesting though. So he bought it 62.86. We'll watch this one into earnings. No, this is an earnings trade. Never mind. Okay, so that's a no one shot. Yeah, that's right. I'm stupid. There's literally earnings. I don't. That's what I was trying to say to begin with. Now, I actually think today was a pretty slow day for the flow. I didn't see much, to be honest. I was looking all day. Like, I think this is, yeah, that's clapped. All right, let me catch up on chat here. What's up, Prath? How are you? Who said they pay more? Wait. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of chatters right now. A gotta be math Olympiad to work at Citadel, bro. Won't they pay you significantly more than what you're making now by teaching? So I'm not just teaching. I want to be clear. I do provide data services. So I'm providing data through the Radar Report. I'm trading. And if you want to say teaching, I mean, I don't really do that. I don't get paid to live stream to you guys. So it's kind of free. But hey, Raider, what's up? Kwani, get your bands up, little bro. Dang, you just got called Lil Bro, Kwani. Do you have a response to that?
What did I do?
Do you have a response to that?
I mean, he's kind of right, man.
Now, if you want to gamble, Kwani, this order right here. If you want to gamble, this guy bought these $68 calls on Etsy. So he's... I'll tell you what. Kuwani, watch this order. Earnings is on July 31st, okay? This is going to be your task. I want you to see if this guy gets dumped on into earnings, okay? If he does, I will follow, all right? Kuwani, get your bands up, lil bro. So let me explain to you guys my thinking behind this. This by no means has any edge, okay? This is pure speculation, but when we talk about risk to reward, when we talk about opportunity, it doesn't matter necessarily. We have an earnings, so we do have a catalyst, so we do have the potential for a move. We know when this move is going to happen just because it's earnings, and we also have potentially someone who's also betting on this. So if we want to talk about risk to reward, if this guy gets dumped on, although a small order, it is a very aggressive one. If this guy gets discounted, what I mean by discounted, market makers push it against him. If he's down, then into earnings, then it's probably worth taking and following some sort of order to the upside. Okay. So to me, this Etsy trade could be a decent gamble into earnings. Now, again, this is not, there's no speculation to this. Or there's no edge to this per se. Okay. Other than the sense that we're positioning the best we can. All right. Other than that, I didn't really see any flow. I mean, this ASML is interesting, but I think there's earnings. Yeah. Wait, no, there's not. Interesting. ASML. 630 put. At 937. Wait a minute. This is interesting. Okay, they're not... okay. What is this music? Is this K-pop? Sorry guys. I need to adjust my screen a little. Like, I'm bad at doing that. My bad. Who has earnings? Does anyone have earnings this week? For semiconductors? I think, let me go check. I don't think so. Calendar. Here we go. Yeah, we do have semiconductor earnings this week. Isn't there some Dutch semiconductor reporting? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got. What website do you use for order flow? Hey, Edgar, I use Black Box Stocks, my guy. And I'll tell you this, it is expensive, but I mean, it's $100. It's pretty expensive for considering what other subscriptions are, but you do get the best filters. So for example, like having the ability to filter all of this is just, I wouldn't be able to do this flow strategy without it. Like Unusual Whales, all these other guys, a lot of these orders are complete BS. Like they post these orders and you have to read junk. You're forced to read junk, which I don't know about you, but I don't like reading junk, and I like saving a lot of time when I scan. So this is quintessential to my strategy. Just curious for your perspective. Thank you, Raider. Also, your Mustang, it's a 6.3. So mixed songs. My Mustang, it's supercharged. It has a Whipple on it. Which would make it what, 7.9. But yeah, it's awesome. It screams, man. It sounds great. Also look at DJT. What's your take on the stock will go? DJT, sure. I'll take a look. Ooh. This one's a tough one, man. Typically how you want to see these go is whenever you have some sort of big consolidation like this, especially with something that's so crowded, you have to ask yourself, is there a reward in this? Is there a risk to reward? Again, with something so crowded, everyone's eyes are on it. Everyone's trading this. It's a very news-driven stock right now, given that it's directly, related to a candidate. You have elections coming up. You have all this other stuff. Well, that's a lot of different stocks. You could argue that, is there something better to trade? If you wanted to trade something high beta like this that you could maybe capitalize off of, there's a few different things that I'm looking at, specifically short, with, I guess, maybe better risk to reward, such as Carvana short into earnings. Something like that would probably be a better opportunity for essentially in the risk to reward department. But as far as DJT specifically, I mean, this is just typical, just grind down. Unless if you have any flow or timing on this, it's not something that. What is this guy yapping about? But anyway, with this one, sorry, there's so many people messaging. The final yo, thanks for go borrow your Gulfstream. Your Gulfstream G800. Sorry, to answer your question. Sorry, I got distracted there. I personally don't. I'm not touching this one. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to give you a direction up or down, but given the current look, I would just say remain bearish on it. It's a nice jet. Yeah, you know that guy on social media, the guy who like does the broker dealing for jets. He's got like some social media account. Kirsten says you have a Mustang. Well, you need to ride in it already. Why do you think Ken Griffin doesn't have live streams about trading? Why does Warren Buffett eat McDonald's when he's a billionaire? It's just a question of morality and what you do with your time. Who's Kirsten? The financial queen. You got headers on the Mustang? As far as this one, wait. Okay, we'll go to this one. Yeah. Guys, Stonk Queen in chat, she will get you all the description about my car. I trained her up on what to say to people. All right, so that's the flow. I don't think there's much in the flow. So as far as other stuff we can look at, one of the biggest things, of course, is going to be the rotations. Now, I also don't think this has much to offer. But look at this. What do you guys see? All right, this is quiz time. Quiz time in chat. Let's see who gets it right. Let's do a poll right now. Yeah, guys, Financial Queen's got it, man. She's got it down. All right, we're going to do a quiz. Abstract, can you ban mixed songs, please? Also, mixed songs, bro. Don't forget, you were coming in here talking about Delta and all this. My question to you is, man, why are you coming into this live stream every time if you got better things to do? I'm scanning for trades, and you're sitting in my live stream saying random-ass things, bro. That's all I got to say. Okay, yeah, for real, W, I remember him doing all the wealth. Dude. Look, I know his Mustang. So whoever asked about the Mustang, it's long tube headers, Whipple supercharger, AW exhaust, not stock. I have injectors on it, catch can. It's fully built motor, dude. It's 760 to the wheel, made 840 on the dyno, but we tuned it back. It sounds great. It's awesome. W car. All right, let's see what you guys voted here. Defensive rotation, growth rotation. Interesting. So I want everyone in chat right now. Everyone in chat right now, describe to me what this is right here. Give your best take on it. It's free. Participation is free. What do you see? Again, this is the RG chart tool. What do you see on this right now? What do you see? It's a defensive rotation with the nerd emoji and the pointing up emoji. Wow. First ban, low-key feel like a Homelander now. Dude, listen, I got respect and I got patience, I got sympathy. But dudes like that are unsavable. You cannot change their mind. You cannot give them information. You cannot better them. You cannot encourage them to better themselves because they will always fall back to that. And that goes for everyone here. Sometimes you just got to kick the can. The best lessons are when your ego gets punched down, and many times in my life I've had that. And you just got to be patient, and eventually if they're just not going to listen, don't need to waste time with them, you know what I mean? All right, tech weakening. Raider, my boy finna get referred. State ref. Dude, not in Ohio, man. Not in Ohio. Maybe in Cali. If I drove it to Cali, no way. But, yeah. I watch you on Trader TV. What's up, DD? Hope you're doing well. Higher highs. Okay. So, everyone, right now, on this chart right here, we have a defensive and growth rotation. What do you notice? Well, let's take a look here. So, right here, we have the rotations. And when I show you guys this tool, I need you guys to fully understand it. Right here, we have tech. Tech is a growth, okay? Right here, we have XLY, growth. And then XLC is over here, okay? This is an outlier. We don't consider that. Now, aside from that, what do you have over here? Well, you have XLE, XLB, XLF, XLI, XLRE, XLP, and then XLU is an outlier. We will not consider this one, okay? So what do you have here is you have markets rotating. Remember, you're asking what is improving quadrant, what is lagging quadrant. Improving is relative to the benchmark, which the benchmark is SPY. So if we're comparing all these sectors to SPY, that means that these are improving relative to SPY, okay? Which is the overall markets. So this means these are starting to outperform a little bit. Now, currently you do have growth outperforming, but look at the trajectory. We care about the trajectory, okay? So this indicates somewhat of a rotation out, and this indicates a rotation into defensive stocks. Okay, this is a typical sign of a market drop coming. Okay, we've been talking about this for weeks. Remember, if you guys remember and this is predictive in nature. Let me show you the tweet we discussed last week, which was you can never bring up Twitter anymore and have like it's just so bad. Okay, here we go. Where's my tweet? Here we go. Okay. So this was our tweet last week, okay? And I want to show you one thing that we discussed in this tweet, which was this, okay? Now, this was what it looked like right before we dropped. And this tweet was on the this was on the 8th, okay? And the 8th was when, well, we basically said that it was here. Let me show you right here. So the 8th, we said about 1 or 2 days it would drop, okay? And that is and this is predictive in nature. This is a leading indicator, if you will, okay? Now, specifically with this is what it looked like. You had defensive names over here, and you had that tech and growth over here. So this is a clear defensive rotation. And what we get from this is that the markets are likely to actually see another leg down. This move we got today is a typical, I don't want to say dead cat bounce, but typically when you do have a fast sell-off, you get a very aggressive bounce followed by another aggressive sell-off. Okay, this is very typical. It happens all the time, and you just got to get used to it. Okay, so do not feel like this is the bottom. Do not feel like this is something that you have to long right away. It likely will break down. That's where the opportunity is, and that's what we're going to have to go find. So specifically with this rotation, this is a defensive and growth rotation, and therefore we can expect not only a drop, but also opportunity that we should long defensives in value over longing technology and growth. Okay, so the technology and growth will be better shorts, while the opportunities in defensive and value names will be the better longs. Does that make sense to everyone in chat? Type yes in chat if you understand. Okay, type yes in chat if you understand. So with this right here, this helps build a narrative of what stocks we need to go find. Right off the bat, I'm going to be looking at a few names, and specifically, I'm going to be looking at these right here: Energy, Staples, and likely one of these guys here. So we'll do a little box right here. Okay. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Kuwani, is this the flow you're finding right here?
Which one? What is?
So you had Salesforce.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
That one's a pretty good setup. When did he place that order? Oh, no, it's in the money, though. This kind of sucks. I mean, I guess continuation, but if you get a gap tomorrow, I think that one could be a good setup. But right now, we'll look at that one later. You also had Etsy. Okay, cool. My bad, guys. I need to start getting in the habit of that. All right, let me lock in here. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You said market's dropping 30% minimum, other than XRT, which will pump. Tech is weak and energy is going up. Can you tell in what time frame the market pulls back? With this around the 30-minute, it typically takes about 1 to 2 days, which is typically when you start to see that pressure return. Now, I want to be very clear. Defensive rotations can mean a chop or a drop. Majority of the times, it's just safer to play the drop scenario because the worst that happens is a chop or a slowdown. Okay, so that's where the opportunity lies. But that's that. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes. Awesome. Is crypto considered tech? It's growth. Yes. Twerk stream is not today. It's for another day. Okay. This guy's a moderator, by the way. Okay, that music was getting a little out of hand. So Salesforce, this one's actually not a bad setup. Specifically with this one, since he got the 250, 250, you could just treat this as a tag trade. Tomorrow, if we drop, you buy off the 250, 250. Now, if you're wondering what order this is, it's this one right here. Boom. Okay, blurry quality. My bad, but it's all right. So this order right here, he gets the 258 250s. Now he bought this at close. Is this today or was this screenshot from another day? Kuwani.
Wait, what'd you say?
Was this today or was it another day he bought these?
I think it was today, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah.
So this guy bought 2 seconds before close, which is aggressive, which is good. He bought 726, 130K, 250.25. So this is actually a continuation trade. So since he bought in the money, you actually can expect that it will continue, or you play it as a tag trade. So the two scenarios are a tag off 250 to 253.46 right here. So we'll make this a trade idea. So here's this. Okay. So this is going to be your zone. It's either here or you see a gap up in which you would need a gap up above this. So any gap up above 256.09. All right. Okay. So that's the dip buy. Now, what does a bottom look like? Do I exit as soon as it breaks this? No. If you buy it, you can expect somewhat of a liquidation, and then you'll get that pop. But since we are coming up back to this zone, I expect this to be kind of quick. So any chop down into this, and you should get somewhat of a big break here. So this is 252.5 with CRM. I would be watching this one. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone? Separator, what's up, Witchell? How many viewers till the oil upstream? See, this is why I can't live stream anymore. Because as soon as I live stream, things get real personal. Okay? People start to get real attached. They want to see me oiled up. They want to see Raider do a twerk stream. This is a professional stream, guys. Please, for the love of all that's holy. Yes? Okay, cool. So this screenshot this if you want to. This is going to be an idea on CRM for tomorrow. Now, Raider, you've been saying downside. Why are we looking for an upside opportunity? With a lot of these names, this could be considered a rate-sensitive trade. So softwares, financial services, these type of names will benefit from the rate-sensitive trade idea, which again has been an idea we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Type yes if you guys are familiar with the rate-sensitive idea. Are you guys familiar with the rate-sensitive idea? Type yes if you are. Type no if you're not in the chat. And if you want me to explain it, I will. But if you guys are familiar with it, I don't need to explain it. Crowd's too crowded. Wealth. Kind of funny to say that, but it's way too crowded, my brother. Don't play crowd. The opportunity is just not there. Raider, why do most people do delta hedging? What is your opinion about that? So there's several different ways to trade options. Of course, there's different ways to hedge as well. There's gamma hedging, there's delta hedging. The idea behind why people do hedge strategies like that is because their strategy of options is not to necessarily capture. So for example, I'm a naked trader. Pause. I trade naked options. And what that means is that I don't necessarily always hedge my bets. So I'm not placing a call and a put. What a lot of people like to do is become delta neutral. And what that does to some extent is it makes the trade less directional and more about timing. So not only do they hedge delta, but there's people that do big spreads. So they will sell calls, sell puts to collect premium. And by collecting a premium, you're essentially hoping that the stock doesn't move against you because you can take technically a theoretical infinite loss regardless. The reason for all these complex strategies is they're mostly done by institutions because they have to run risk parameters. They have to run these trapped strategies, if you will, so that they can advertise their strategy because no one wants to invest in a fund that has naked calls and puts basically. So the idea behind this stuff is that they're promising their clients essentially, I mean, market makers delta hedge, they gamma hedge, they're trying to balance things. and you're doing it with equity as well as the options. Okay, so like for example, if you buy a call, you have to buy X amount of shares to hedge that and become delta neutral. If that makes sense. But that is delta hedging. So while I don't trade it, there's a lot of different reasons why people run these trap strategies. I just like being naked because I like making a lot of money. Pause. But I just don't like my profits being capped. Raider, why do most people do delta hedging? No, please. Okay. So, guys, the rate sensitive trade is this. We've been talking about the last few weeks now that okay, my bad. Someone was calling me. But to finish that up, you could say, sorry, my dog's barking. Okay. Because they are dealers trying to make money from commissions, not direction. Okay. So if you're a dealer, you're not trying to beat the market. Okay. And that's kind of the main reason with delta hedging and everything is if you're a dealer, you're not trying to beat the markets. You're trying to balance them and you're trying to make essentially commission. You're trying to make the skim off the top. You're not in a market where the dealers are the speculators. It doesn't work. You can't have a market where the dealers are the biggest speculators as well, right? Does that kind of make sense? It like essentially like if you were to go to an Apple stand, okay? If you were to go to an Apple stand and there's tons of different things. If you were to go to an Apple stand and that Apple stand was the only person selling, it's kind of like a monopoly, right? If that person selling the apples was also the one who's predicting where the market's going to go and he's the only seller, it doesn't work, right? You can't have a supply that is evil and wants to scam its buyers basically, because then the buyers just won't buy and then the market ceases to exist. But anyway, that's a different night. So as far as what we're going to talk about right now is the rate sensitive trade. So just briefly, the last CPI reading with Powell was proof that the Fed are on track to finally meet their goal. It was the first proof that the markets have gotten that there actually is going to be rate cuts. So with that is what rallied rate sensitive names. Now, what are rate sensitive names? Rate sensitive names are like IWM, small caps, companies that rely on leverage, that rely on easy money, that rely on a less restricted economy. And so these are biotechs, these are financial companies like banks, companies that rely on interest rates, things like that. Affirm, these kind of guys, they got a big front run into this because, well, they will do better in these scenarios. So that's why you saw such a big surge. So something like CRM, of course, this is something that could benefit very, very much from that. And there you go. So this CRM trade is not a bad one. Okay. All right, moving on. Let me catch up. You're cooked, Raider. He's teasing us at this point. Nah. Why do you write with yellow? Can't see. Yeah, it's just because it's a yellow box. It says dip buy. You got other Discord girls. Yes. Make a reel of this clip because it's gold. Okay, so Prath, we're going to erase that clip from the internet. Okay, you can best bet that is never going to make it on the internet. Okay, if one of you guys posts that clip, it's over, man. It's wraps. I'm literally getting Homeland Security to kick down your door. Okay, moving on from that. Now, another way that we can analyze markets, of course, is a part of building a perspective is understanding what is in play. What can we look at? What sectors and industries can we rely on? So what I like to use is this tool called Koyfin. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cook up a little thing here. And we're going to go from the 17th, which is when the market dropped, I believe. Let me go see. Yes, 17th is when we gap down. So right here. So now we have the performance of the sectors from July 17th to now. Okay, so right here. Now, I want to show you guys something. What do you guys think is going to be the best short trade moving forward? Okay, so the markets are dropping. What do you guys think are going to be the good names to short for the continuation down? What do you guys think? Let's see how good you guys are. Raider, who's your favorite Discord member? That's just such a, like, you guys are just baiting me to get canceled. Abstract is going to ban himself, bro. Tech, the bottom, lagging groups. Okay. SMH. Okay. So here's what I'll say. Okay. Since the market is dropping and we expect a seasonal top very soon, late July. Matter of fact, let me go show you real quick. Okay. And we'll come back to this. So if we're expecting a seasonal top, so let's go look at the seasonals. Okay, let's go look at the seasonals. All right. So here you go. We're going to look at the last 15 years. Now you guys might ask, Raider, why aren't you looking at the seasonals from 25 years? Don't you want more data included? No. We tend to not include 2008 because of the policy changes and the market structure changes since then. 2008 physically changed the construction of the markets. So I only like to do seasonals up until then. 15 years would be just after 2008, okay? Excuse me. So that's that. Now, what do you notice? Typically around the top of July. So a seasonal top typically happens around the 29th, 30th, somewhere in there. So around the 29th or 30th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, somewhere around there, you are going to get a top in the market. Now, does that mean it's a new high? Does that mean it's an all-time high? No. It just means that that is when you can expect the strength to shift from no longer being the buyer side, no longer being the best buy trade, no longer the upside being the best trade, but the downside now is the better opportunity. Okay, so that's a seasonal top. All right. How did 2008 change the market? Well, after 2008, there was a lot of not only structural changes in policy among firms, among markets in general, securities, but also there was a huge change in how the markets physically functioned. The vast majority of trading was online, becoming online, and the available capital, people after 2008 invested like hell. You had a period of 12 years where the NASDAQ didn't really do anything, 9 years, but they were investing tons. Firms started to actually invest. And now today, assets have become such a big thing compared to what it was in 2008. The volume wasn't there. Nothing was there compared to that market. So we cannot compare pre-2008 to now because of that. Hopefully that makes sense. But so right here, we expect a seasonal top. So going back to the sector thing right here, we're going to look at this and we're going to say, okay, if we expect a seasonal top, that means that the leaders of the previous trend are going to get a big dump. But until then, until we have proof that today is gonna see a drop to follow, I don't feel comfortable with that. So how this typically works, if you expect a market drop, is that the leaders will see a pretty aggressive drop, but they will get bought up very quickly. So these are going to be the quicker moves. However, if you want to see the more extended shorting opportunities, you're going to have to grab the names that are lagging, okay? And that includes something like XRT, something like Solars, Clean Energy, something like that, okay? But we have to be careful with this. So that's that. Now, another way we can analyze this is we could take it from the bottom of July 19th and then to the top of July 22nd. So let's go see what performed here. Does anyone have any questions so far before we keep moving on here? Okay, so this is from July 19th to the 22nd, okay? So this shakes up things a little bit. Won't that absolutely dump it because it's priced it in? Short IWM fails to cut rates. I mean, you don't want to bet on that though, because the markets are pricing in that they do cut rates, and the markets rarely price in something that's wrong. But if they were to change that, then yeah, that would probably see significant declines. But again, you don't know when or where. We have several months till the year end, so there's no point doing that. But everyone was betting on September would be the first month that we get cuts. What that? Can we expect an upside move on XLE? I'll talk about that in a minute. XRT disrespect will not be tolerated. So, as far as what we're looking at here, some different things. Of course, Tech and SMH, I believe these ones will get the leg down here. So we're going to minimize again, just so you guys can see the chart. And we're going to look at SMH. So this one obviously is higher beta. These ones are getting a lot of juice. But some of these names, like SMCI, they're not pumping. So if you want to go for short, I would be looking at the laggers within the leaders. And what I mean by that is semiconductors here, there's going to be a fat, 4-6% day easily on SMCI most likely. Again, when we turn around, same thing with AVGO. All right. So these ones are definitely not seeing as much strength, and therefore makes it easier to short when you consider, hey, if technology is leading, it's likely to get that big rotation out. We have that growth rotation out. This name is weaker, so therefore when the markets do turn around, they're going to pull the plug on that one first. Does that make sense to everyone? Hopefully it does. So AVGO and SMCI, keep these ones on your bucket list for names to watch. Now, SMCI does have earnings coming up, so just be careful with that. But as far as into that, it could be fair game on something else like AVGO. All right. Now, one of the leaders here is XLI. I believe XLI, now again, this is a different time frame, so we're going to exit out of that. But one of the names that has definitely shown a lot of its color is XLI. Industrials are a name that have been doing very, very well. And this is, again, because of that defensive and value rotation, that they're rotating money into those higher, lower beta names, higher dividend names. They're rotating into safer stocks. Now, I say safer, that doesn't actually mean they're safer. You still lose a lot if you fuck up. But these are names that are considered, they're just not growth. They're not speculative, not as growth would be. So that's XLI. Now, one of my favorite names within this is actually Uber. Uber has such a tricky setup, man. But I truly believe that this is the bottom. I think that we could see a bottom here in a run up into earnings. Now, typically how it goes, Kuwani or Chains, are you guys there?
Yeah, what's up?
What happens 2 weeks typically before earnings? What happens 2 weeks before earnings, Kuwani?
Wait, give me a second.
Okay, think about it. What does price action typically do?
Form a structure.
Now, what the hell does that mean? What is price? Does price typically go up or down 2 weeks before earnings?
Up.
So, if this is the liquidation, now I want to point something out, and this typically is why you see a lot of now volume today is not as clear as it used to be, and what I mean by that is if you look too deep into volume, you're gonna mess with your head. But I will say this: if you look at the volume today and yesterday from the Uber, what do you notice, Kuwani? So, do you see this high volume period right here? Oh. Do you see this? Is that something you see, Kuwani?
Yeah.
Okay, so pull up a chart of that. So we had this massive sell-off. Now, if this is the liquidation, you can expect there to either be really low volume after, or you see some sort of crazy move. Now, if everyone's out of the market right now, look at this. Look how fast this volume just dumped off the cliff, right? So then we had some pickup store close. That's natural because, of course, it's market close. But this volume is just falling off a cliff after this. So this is likely to be the liquidation. And considering that we have earnings run up 2 weeks before earnings, typically, and considering that this could be the liquidation, I'm betting on a run up in Uber. So to all you goofy goobers like Kuwani, that is one of my trades of the week is going to be Uber. Okay. What expiration am I grabbing? I currently am in 8/2 expiration. So I grab next Friday. Okay. Now, the hardest part is always timing. So 8/16, that could also be decent, but I grabbed 8/2. A run up. Yeah, see, you guys are smart. You guys got it. The Financial Queen said IV juice. There you go. So, and if you guys wonder why, when you guys have a big sports game coming up, like maybe Raider is playing at your local stadium, okay? Tons of people want to come out. They want to, he's handsome, he's athletic, 6 foot, 200 bench. I could go on with the stats, but people want to come see me play. Those tickets closer and closer to the game are going to get more and more expensive because they're last minute, right? Same with flights, everything like that. So the same kind of principle applies. If you ever are asked, can you explain an earnings run up to me? Just say it costs more to play, right? There's a lot of anticipation in earnings, people position into it. And so that's why you see a run up. Okay. Does that make sense, everyone? All right, bro, bam. They don't want to see the jokes. But that's XLI. Now, another tricky one is actually Boeing. Boeing was expected to have its run up, of course, here. This is 2 weeks before, but it's just a tricky trade, man. Will we see a run up? Who knows? I have faith in this one, but at some point you just have to just ignore it. If it's not going to move, it's not going to move. Now, another trade I'm looking at is actually Moderna. And the only problem I have with this one is I don't have a reason for it to move right now. Okay? So if we go look at something like the seasonal, so where is it? Or let's go look instead at the open interest. So if we go look at the open interest right now, okay, 816, 802, let's go look at 816. So 816 Moderna, I mean, there's no information here. So let's go to Season AX. Oh no, actually let's go to the Raider report. We'll type in Moderna. Okay. So even seasonals don't really suggest a breakout coming. Okay. So what I think is probably going to happen to this stock is some sort of fake out. I don't see, I mean, this has been consolidating. Is it a bottom? It's just so tricky. I think it's going to keep consolidating or end in some sort of fake out. But earnings is coming up on the 1st. So you would think that, if we have an earnings run up, any gap up, maybe it's worth a day trade, but I wouldn't say a swing trade. Okay. So keep an eye on Moderna as well. That's one I've been watching. Can we expect an upside move in XLE? That's right. I was going to talk about this one. Now, energy is an interesting one for sure. So energy as a whole has been somewhat bearish, but I truly believe that this will benefit very soon. The dollar right now is kind of consolidating. Energy's kind of feeling that a little bit. But I believe if the dollar can start to pump a little bit, get a nice spike, I think that will be enough to crank back into energy. So as far as XLE goes, I actually have a trade in XOP that I'm in right now. I think XOP is going to be the bigger mover than XLE. And I did take a position last month in OIH. OIH has also been the favorite, it seems, of that energy trade. Okay. Now, another trade that I'm in right now is XLU, utilities. This is a part of the defensive trade. This was actually one of the more beaten down names within defensives. And typically how it works is you get one big rush into all these names. And when you get a first rotation into any asset class, okay, whether it be consumer discretionaries, whether it be technology, what happens first is the rotation will pour into those big leaders from the previous trend. XLU was not a leader of the previous trend. Once that big initial push happens, then the markets start to pull back. And then that second push, the one that makes that C leg, right? Picture it as if you're the fifth wave, whatever. If you're in an Elliott, the first big rush gets you into maybe wave 1, wave 3, but that final push or that second half of that push gets you into those more beaten down names within those sectors. So I actually looked at XLU and XLP as the favorites for the next week or so to the upside. So that's that. Now the other defensives like XLRE, these are all still great. But I think the opportunity within the defensives are specifically going to be in those. All right. By the way, are there naked option buyers who earn or manage more than 100 to 200 million? I mean, there's shops for everything. There's hedge funds for everything. Hedge funds are less regulated. They're more speculative. If you beat the markets, you beat the markets. People will invest with you. Do I personally know anyone with 100, 200 million that has naked option strategies going for an institution? I'm sure they're out there, but I personally don't know any. As far as naked as in retail with that kind of size, sure, yeah, there's actually probably a lot of them. 100 million is not small, but there are definitely groups of people out there that do have strategies around that. Now, is it purely naked? Probably not. But there's certainly, I mean, from a risk to reward standpoint, if you have 100 million, it's probably not even worth going naked. It's better just to hedge and slightly reduce your what would it be called, cost margin, reduce your impact, right? So if you could get a naked call and make 500%, why not hedge it, make 300% and still be hedged? You know what I mean? So it's probably not out there that's very common. Bro just swore he doesn't know me. But yeah, do you guys have any other questions? So this was just a little review of some of the trades tonight. So we have CRM. We have, what was the other one? Help me out, Kuwani.
Etsy.
Etsy, that's right. Now this one, all we're watching for is it to get smacked into earnings, and then I'll take it next week if it's sitting right down here, right? I just want to see this guy get discounted. Another one, again, that's CRM. This one's just a continuation trade to play that final leg in the markets if we are getting close to that seasonal top. As far as short trades, be watching AVGO and SMCI within the semiconductors. I think these are going to get a fat red day here pretty soon. And then as far as to the long side, I really like Uber. Uber is one of those trades that I'm, looking to get into, or I am into rather, but looking to get something out of. Moderna as well. I don't actually know. This one we decided not to. And then currently I'm actually still in KO. I actually think this is the favorite of the staples. So if you guys do want to take a trade in staples, consumer staples, that defensive trade, I am in KO right now for the 16th. So that's going to be a trade that you guys need to watch. So that's that. All right. What about INTC? I just saw some calls. Sure, we can look at that. What about Amazon with Jeff selling more shares? So, Demi, I see this narrative a lot. Now, I do want to correct this while we look at this other person's INTC. When you guys hear news, and everyone in chat right now, all 33 of you right now, I need you guys to listen, okay? If you're sitting down on the John, I don't care what you're doing, listen to me right now. When you see the narrative that because a CEO is selling his shares, that he believes the company is going to go down soon, is complete BS, okay? A lot of times they have advisors tell them to do this. A lot of times they have their payment plans doing this, and Father Time, right? Everyone ages. When you see a 70-year-old CEO, not that Jeff Bezos is, but when you see a 70-year-old CEO selling shares, he's 70. The life expectancy is 75 of humans. Of course he's going to be selling his shares, right? there's taxes. He wants to buy something maybe. So this narrative that because he's selling, that there's going to be a big crash, do not fall for that. Okay. They know absolutely nothing about the markets, and they don't necessarily know when it's going to drop. Now, as far as, and you also have to consider that Amazon is at all-time highs. Of course, someone's going to sell at all-time highs, guys. That makes sense. So when you see like Greg, is selling his shares, and then you pull up the chart and it's at all-time highs, you did all this work for the company, get some reward out of it. That's what they're going to do. But again, I'm not 400-pound tanks listening to this stream. That's crazy. But other than that, that's basically that. Now, as far as Amazon, this one is pretty beaten down. Now, you do have earnings coming up. I mean, I wouldn't really take a trade into it. You're probably just better off waiting for Tesla. I mean, Tesla's tomorrow morning, I think? Tomorrow night. So tomorrow night, once Tesla moves, I mean, that will kind of be the big one. You're better off just probably playing the post after that. But personally with Amazon, man, I a lot of people I know are I'll tell you this, from a technical perspective, if this is a liquidation, you can expect a bounce, okay, at least into earnings. But after that, it's a toss-up. Right now, it's extremely weak. So long as you stay above that liquidation low, then you're bullish. But is there an opportunity in there just because you're bullish? Is there an actual trade? I don't see much reward in it, so I'm not going to trade it. But to you, Mr., I would say bullish until earnings, and then afterwards it's an absolute toss-up. But I'm not going to swing anything into earnings. What is your perspective? Okay, wait, is Jake still here? Wasn't there a Jake in chat that was asking me about my routine and everything? Jake Wilson. Jake Wilson, are you still here, Mr. Good Sir? What is your perspective on NQ? As far as NQ goes and futures, I mean, I just trade SPY. So since I trade options, I trade SPY QQQ, which is NASDAQ. So boom, boom, boom. I also trade SPY, and then Dow Jones, and then small caps IWM. So these are the ETFs, the most common that I trade. Okay, so that's that. All right, everyone in chat, we are getting close to wrapping up this stream, but we are going to finish off with our little lesson of the day. So I want you guys to vote in chat. I'm going to drop a poll. We're going to do a brief 10-minute lesson. Okay, so we found some trades. We had some commentary. But of course, you Raider reporters already know that. Let me see here. Okay, what lesson? All right. We're going to do between two things. We're going to do all right, vote in chat, guys. Vote in chat what lesson you want. Shane here. Do you ever look at gamma exposure levels? Trust Blackbox's gamma exposure system where it assumes dealers are short puts and long calls. Great question, Shane. That's an excellent question. I do use gamma exposure levels. The most preferred, now I do, hold on, let me pull up Blackbox real quick. So for those that don't know what he's talking about, Kuwani, are you in Tea's stock place?
24/7, dude. Of course.
So
I love Teo.
God damn it. Tea's stock place. So for those that don't understand, this is the gamma levels. I don't know why it's doing that. I can't unclick this. Anyway, so this is what it is on the chart. Now, specifically with, you can also do, I think, no, you can't do it through here. But what I typically view it on is actually trading volatility. So what I will do is throw up this chart, and then I do horizontal, and then you get net gamma expression. So this is the gamma. Now there's a few different ways we approach this, but this isn't the lesson tonight, so I'm not going to go over it. But I do use this specifically. Gamma flips, but also understanding, you know, obviously if there's a level dragging it up, like a put seller above the price, that's, you know, depending on expiration or if we're coming to a high, that is reason to believe that there will be a continuation, etc. So I do use gamma levels sometimes for various reasons, whether it to be find the liquidity attraction or seeing, you know, what level is going to be the peak interest for the market makers during that day. In fact, we have a lot of people in our Discord. Again, I'm not self-taught, so don't think I'm just spewing shit. But what we developed was, well, not developed, but we have this bot, and a lot of people actually do look at gamma levels. We have a whole system with this as far as, you know, understanding, you know, basically liquidity tractions, things like this. So this is the bot from TradyTix that we have. A lot of people use it to actually use the gamma in here. But that's that. But let's see what the poll said. So the poll said 60-40, how to build a smart system. Okay, so we're going to do this real quick, just so I don't take up too much of your guys' time. But how to build a smart system. So I want you guys to take notes on this, and we're going to do this just very fast. Okay, I'm going to point out a few flaws within your own system because I know a lot of you guys have flaws that you know you have flaws, but you're not addressing them. So number one, the biggest flaw I see a lot is how people even approach markets. Okay, so the approach that people have to markets is flat out wrong to begin with. Okay, a lot of people, and this is my personal opinion, I think it can help. This is the way I was taught, and we've talked about this before, but a lot of people believe price action is king. How many times have you guys heard, you know what, screw it, I'm starting all the beef, okay? How many times have you heard ICT mofos going around saying price action is king, the algorithms will hunt you down and algorithms will hunt your stop, and they are brainwashed into believing that the markets are out to hunt down 3% or whatever ridiculously low percent of retail volume there is out there each day, okay? These far-reaching concepts of algorithms manipulating, guys in suits going against their position, to price action being the only thing you need to look at is completely wrong. Understand that truth is in the middle. So what a lot of you guys have to understand is that we can't just look at price action, right? Price is a result in some extent. It can be future looking, but is often is a result. And so at any given moment in the markets, there are thousands of head and shoulders, thousands of patterns, thousands of cup and handles. So how do we know which one is going to work if only 1%, 0.5% of those work out, right? Or at least actually move? The way to do that is to find trades / ideas outside of the charts first. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean don't look at charts at all? No. Because when you want to build a good system, you cannot look at the charts first. Why? Because like I said, there's thousands of head and shoulders, thousands of patterns out there. How do you know which one is going to work out? Well, we can know which one is going to work out, or at least better know, by having more edge, by finding an idea, a concept, a data point outside the charts. Now, does that mean you need to go read 401k or whatever, 3C filings and all this crap? No. You just need to know the mechanics of the market and understanding, okay, if options move the market, shouldn't I go find some sort of option or some sort of idea within the options market, or maybe even some sort of rotation to validate why I should take this pattern? Yes. Because once you have a reason that justifies, or a data point that justifies the price action, then you already have more edge going into that trade without even charting. Does that make sense to everyone? So that's the first thing. Now, does that make sense to everyone? So when you want to build a system, you have to find data, RRG charts, seasonals, the Rater report, right? Black box, understanding options and how they move markets. Sentiment. You have to find all these different points. Now, this doesn't mean get overloaded with data, but it means, hey, you know what? Since we're in a rotational market right now, since we're dropping, maybe I should look at the rotations rather than sentiment, because rotation, we're already dropping. Who cares about sentiment? Let's go look at the rotations and see where money is going. I feel like that's a pretty decent stance right now. Okay? Does that make sense, everyone? Type yes in chat. Price action is king. Okay. Abstract needs to be banned. So type yes in chat if you guys understand what I'm saying here. See, yes. Okay. So when it comes to specifically creating a smarter system, one of your first approaches, your ground floor, has to be you have to find these tools, guys. There is no such thing. And even these guys on prop firms that you think only trade price action, they really don't. Okay. I know everyone says, well, everyone, you know, if it works for you, then it works, right? You wouldn't have a goldfish pick your stock. So there is a line between right and wrong. Just because it works doesn't mean it's right or wrong. That's the confusing part about trading, is it's kind of blurred. But I would say that if you want to have a solid approach, that's the way I was taught, and that's how I break down the market so effectively. Okay. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about, just briefly, is once you get that idea, how do you intelligently approach the markets? And that is by understanding that timing is harder than direction. Whenever you trade, and you can look at all my trades. Again, if you guys ever question, hey, Raider, you suck trading, I have archived literally every single report, every single trade that I've published on the Raider Report for months now. I mean, this goes all the way back to February, at least all these public. You can go back hundreds of trades here. Well, I don't know hundreds, but maybe, you know, you can go back and you can go look at my prior trades, see if they worked out, go make fun of me. But I bet you majority of them worked out, and the ones that didn't, this is the important part, they did work out in the future, but I was wrong in timing. Very rarely am I ever wrong in direction. So why is timing so important? What do I need to, how do I better my timing? I would argue that the options market, you need to learn options. More specifically, you need to understand how derivatives affect markets. If you want to get good at timing markets, you need a date of some sort. That is found in a variety of different tools. Basically, every tool that I use helps me with timing. RGs, seasonals, and black box, because, well, you have an expiration date. So you know by when something can happen. So if you want to be good at affecting, now, a lot of people use moving averages. They use these different patterns. Building off of that last note that we had, if you want to get good at timing, you have to have a date. So if you don't have a date, and this is listen carefully. This is why ICT mofos and all these guys, you've never seen a profitable ICT trader. You've never seen one. And I'm serious when I say that. No diss to anyone. I'm not starting drama, but you've never seen one. And the reason is because they don't have anything to time the markets. They're not looking at, you know, the VIX not making. One of the easiest signs to see the VIX was going to pop was that we didn't make a new low since May, right? This was a very clear sign that when we started to come back up towards the high, well, shit, we didn't make a new low since May. This could be our chance, given that there's also a defensive rotation. This was back then. That's a pretty good chance that we actually have a drop. None of these guys have anything to do with timing. They're looking for patterns. They're looking for structure, market structure. They're looking for, I need to you know, take a trade off this zone. Now, does a zone help with timing? Yes, because it gives you a location. So when the stock touches it, that is somewhat of a time. But again, you need to know why now. Why is now better than later? And that's super hard for a lot of people because they're looking at lagging information. They're looking at just structure. And structure does not give you a win. For example, if I went and I looked at that Moderna, I could go take a trade on it right now. And maybe it moves tomorrow. But guess what? I don't have a timing of when it can move. Now, you know when I could place a trade if I think it was going to move? Into earnings. Because we have a time when an event's going to happen that's going to move the stock. So that's honestly gambling into earnings here. is almost a better risk to reward than taking a trade right now. Even though it's gambling with earnings. Isn't that crazy? So timing the markets is more important than direction. So you need to ask yourself, do I have the tools to help time, right? And I use a bunch of different ones. Again, my mentors have taught me very well as far as how to time markets better. Okay. Is everyone clear on that? Type yes in chat if you are. And we'll talk about one more factor to make an effective system. Okay. Don't you think price action can reveal big players? No. Big players are not who move markets. Okay. Now that's going to sound crazy, but you're not trying to find this idea that there is these big firms out there that are, I got to trade like the banks. And how many times do you hear that? I got to trade like the banks. No. The banks trade in a stupid way. They trade a big money game, which means they're not actually trying to beat markets. They're just trying to, again, get commission. They're trying to break little chunks of the pie out. They're not going for huge winners. These banks, majority of them aren't, just going out there and making tens of millions off every trade they make. Okay. Now that's obviously not true. It's generalization, guys. But this idea that you need to trade like the banks, absolutely not. What dominates markets is mechanics, how the markets actually function, right? That is what dominates the market, right? You could have the best fundamentals on a company ever, best fundamentals, and it be tanking because of some dynamic. Why is GME? Why was GME valued more than actual real businesses? You think a used video game store is valued more than some other companies at the time when it was at its peak that were actually making real business with real fundamentals, with real employees? The mechanics dominate everything, guys. And this idea that you need to go and trade like the banks is false, right? It was this made up concept to sell to you. You bought a course, you listened to their audience, they sold this idea to you. They got your attention by that. That's all it is. These guys have no clue what's going on. Banks don't really, in this idea of dark pool, stuff like that, they don't move the markets. Now, sure, does a big order take play in the markets? Sure. But what ultimately moves it is, well, the functions of it. And I can't really explain. It's like, a car, right? Just because a fat guy gets in a car doesn't mean that, it's not going to still go, right? We're not worried about the fat guy in the car. We're just worried if the car goes or not, right? So anyway. Now I'm trying to listen to you. But to find big players is this idea, and I'll tell you this, to be honest, and then we'll move on to the next point. A lot of people made that up to make you feel inferior, like you don't know as much as the person saying that to you. So for example, if I go and I say, institutions are trying to hunt your stop loss. No, they're not. They're not deliberately going, Andrew Rader has placed his stop loss right here. I'm going to go hunt him. No. While liquidity grabs do happen, it is for a bigger purpose. It is not to individually hunt down retail traders and clap them. There is more behind that. And that's why I'm saying whenever you hear an extreme idea, you know that the truth is in the middle. Okay, so let's say right now I say Kuwani is really fat. Okay, when I say that, that's an extreme take. You got to know that the truth is more towards the middle. That maybe he's chubby, but he's not fat. Okay. Outrageous slander. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to talk about, the last part, to making an effective system. Okay, now this is probably one of the best things. Know when data or information / ideas is useful and when it's not. Okay? A lot of people go out and they look at, oh, I got to have my MACD. I got to have my RSI. I got to have my moving average cross. I got to have all these different things. And while this sounds rookie, you would be surprised how many people do this. You have to know what data and when that data is useful. For example, right now, let me explain to you. You guys know that I trade option flow. You know that I trade off rotations. You know that I trade off seasonals. And you know that I trade off technicals. Okay? That's 4 things. at any given moment in the market, one of these, two of these maybe, are going to be ass. They're not necessarily going to give me a lot of information. But in certain conditions like the one now, seasonals and RGs are really good. Flow's a little tougher. Maybe technicals are a little tougher because we're getting more volatile. So that leaves me with 2 to 3, if you want to count flow. That leaves me 2 to 3 out of the 4 perspectives that I have to actually go look at. When I go look at data that's not helpful, like sentiment right now, sentiment is just like kind of garbage. Like this was somewhat useful, but sentiment in general, like if you guys go look at the fear and greed index, okay? You guys might think that the fear and greed index is smart, okay? Do you know how goddamn long this fear and greed index has been on greed? That's not useful. So don't look at it. Don't waste your time. Don't try to grab a game plan from it. A lot of you guys see too many or too much data, right? We have to know when there's too much data. Like if you're trying to confluence too many things together, it's not a system. Markets is rough. Think of the markets as like a rough rock, okay? You feel it, it's rough all over, but you still have to do something with that. You can't just expect it to be all polished and shiny. It's never going to happen. Even when you sand that rock down, it's going to start chipping and it's always going to be rough. So don't try to go make it smooth, right? Some of the best trades look like the scariest ones because as long as the data is there, it's good. So when it comes down to this, when you have an approach to make a smart system, and this is more the factors behind it, you have to know how to even approach these. Look at data outside the charts. Look at the ideas outside the charts. It could be as simple as, hey, it doesn't necessarily mean you don't look at charts to find these ideas, but it's, hey, consumer staples, defensive stocks are getting a rotation. So I should probably be looking at those for one final leg. Maybe go scan now. Now I have a general idea of where to scan because I have a timing. Okay, once you find that, you go to understanding that timing is harder than direction. You ask yourself, is now the time, right? Is now the time for me to take this trade, right? Because direction is easy. If I go and I show you a chart of NVIDIA, right? And I take you all the way back to here, a lot of you guys would say, well, duh, NVIDIA is bullish here. Yes, we all know NVIDIA is going to go up from here. It's too strong. It's just strong. It's going to go up in the future. We all know it is. But when is that going to reverse? That's the hardest part. It's so hard to find that. That's why most people fail. But those who say that timing the markets is impossible, big middle finger, because there's a thing called options. And options have an expiration date. So if you can't time the market, how do people make money with options? Right? So you can time the markets. Right? So once you have that timing down, you understand, and I personally think the most beneficial way is understanding how derivatives affect markets. I think from put walls to call walls, things like that, which you guys can learn in the Discord if you want to join. I'll get on a call with you. And give you an orientation call and get you working on the material. But as far as this, know when ideas and information is useless. A lot of you guys are going for too much confluence. A lot of you guys are trying to grab RSI, MACDs. You're putting all this crap together to try to make a game plan because I think a lot of you guys, if you saw my system and how I scan like I do here, it's laid back. It's intensive. I'm focused, yes, but it's very simple. Once you get it down, you're looking at the market as it is. You know how that market works, and once you understand how that market works, you know all of its flaws, its beauties. You know what a market looks like and how it feels. A lot of you guys don't know that. A lot of you guys look at price action, but that's not a market. Price action is just a reflection of it. It's not the actual market itself. You need to understand what moves those candles that you stare at all day. Understand what actually drives these candles to move, right? And is there a way to predict that? That is why you guys need to know that. So understanding what parts of understanding when my system is useless in some areas and more important in others, that's a huge game. In choppy markets, RG charts are really good, right? In more expansive markets, option flow is really good. RG charts, not so much. Technicals in very volatile conditions, typically pretty hard, typically pretty difficult. technicals in markets halfway down in a trend, maybe in a bear market as well, tend to be pretty easy. So are you guys getting this? So you teach one-on-one on Discord service. So for those that are curious, I am not self-taught. My mentors and I are in a Discord. This is our Discord. You can join in link in bio. But there's just an upgrade channel. You click on that. You can watch a little video about it. But as far as this, there's a ton of data you guys will get into. Do I teach one-on-one? No, but you will have a personal relationship with me and my mentors. We're all a family. Once you join, if you join, of course, I'm not pressuring you guys to, but if you join, I will hop on an orientation call with you, and I'll get you working on the materials. Tons of PDFs, tons of videos, of recordings of my mentors that we've accumulated over the years, and a curriculum, if you will. So that's that. Anyway, there's also the raid report if you guys want to get involved with that. So if you guys don't know, a lot of people are in the raid report. So this is where I post my trades every Sunday. You also get, if you sign up for the pro, you also can get the seasonal tool, which is on the website. This is a custom terminal. You can compare tickers. You can look at different tickers, compare their seasonals, things like that. This is all in-house. And of course, you can see my charts every day. If you want to sign up for the raid report for absolutely free, you can see my SPY chart that I update every single day and every single week. This is my SPY chart and general thesis. So you can look at that, compare it to your own, maybe see how good you are at charting. I don't know. But I also do a weekly report as well. So I publish a report every single month for that next month in all the longer time frame trades. And then I also do a seasonal time frame where I outline the seasonal data because, again, this is so timing. I give an outline, kind of that stuff. So that's that. But regardless, do you guys have any X-Drawer before you join, bro? If you do Discord, let me DM me on Instagram and I'll give you a discount code, 50% off. Just because you showed up to the stream. And if anyone else wants to do that, that's fair. But the raid report as well, if you're just going to sign up for that, there's no code for it. Just do it. But other than that, guys, do you have any other questions? Can I answer any of your guys' questions? Anything you guys want to talk about? Has anyone been broken up with? I still have my girlfriend. We're still surviving out here. Kuwani, are you still with your girlfriend?
Yeah, maybe we can figure something out,
Okay, so abstract. Can we ban Kuwani in real life? Is that an option? Because I'm pretty sure I hired you to do that. So Chains, is Chains still here or no? He's probably not.
No, Chains left to go smoke.
He left to go smoke. Guys, Chains doesn't smoke, but actually I don't know. Does he?
So when will you twerk, though?
What'd you say?
When will you twerk?
When will I twerk? I love trading naked. See, this is why my chat. So.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
So. Look at the last three messages in my chat. I love trading. No. You guys need to see this. Okay. I love trading naked options. When does the twerking start? I've been waiting all stream. Did I click on the wrong stream? I love trading naked, not options naked. Not options naked. Okay, see, he's doubling down on it. I love trading naked. Oh my god. Bathtub stream went. See, this is the kind of chat that you guys are fostering. Okay? All 30 of you people in here need to be absolutely ashamed.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Abstract. Put my fries in the bag, bro. Put my fries in the bag, bro. Put my fries in the bag, bro. All right, guys. I want everyone tonight to have a blessed night. Now, before we leave, you guys are going to do 10 push-ups with me. So, get your heinies out of your chair. Get up. Look, I don't even fit in the camera screen. 6'2", 200 pounds. Okay, wait. 180, shredded to the bone and teeth. Okay. I like, how tall am I? I might be 7 foot. Who knows? No, but seriously, guys, get down. Do 10 push-ups with me, all right? If you say no to doing 10 push-ups right now, how do you expect to beat a $70 trillion market if you can't even do 10 push-ups? Okay, so get your butt down and do 10 push-ups with me. Here we go. Starting on cue. Ready, go. 1, 2, chest hits the ground. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was it. Find your new 100%, guys. I want every single one of you to have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.